This mushroom in our testing has the highest level of beta glucans, and beta glucans are the important compound in mushrooms that provide the immunological benefits. So they got the highest level of beta glucans of all of the particular medicinal mushrooms. And then not only that, they have these other compounds called triterpenoids, and the triterpenoids work with our liver.
All right, I'll get right to it. Are mushrooms the secret key to our longevity?
Well, you know what? Absolutely. I consider mushrooms to be the forgotten food and the missing dietary link. And look, diet is the foundation of our health. Absolutely is. And the food we eat really is what keeps us healthy, maintains a healthy immune system. Mushrooms, and when you think about mushrooms in Asia, for example, I mean, they have been utilized not only as a healthy food, but also as medicine. Think about food as medicine. I mean, that's just a concept to me that is so important. So if you have a food that actually can provide you other benefits than just being nutritious, then man, that's where we all want to be.
And it's so powerful because as these foods start becoming more of a commonplace on our plates, we're also benefiting because now so much research is coming out, especially we're running it here going, whoa, what about this mushroom? How about this mushroom? This does that. And it's a really exciting time. That's why they call it the mushroom boom. But I know that you have a favorite mushroom, and I want to ask you, what is your favorite mushroom of all and why?
Well, there's a very special mushroom called reishi or ling chi, and it's been used in Asia for thousands of years. You see it in their art. You see it in their architecture. They've got mythologies around this mushroom. They call it the mushroom of immortality. Can you imagine a food that they actually call the mushroom of immortality or food of immortality? Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of amazing. They revere this mushroom. And this mushroom in our testing has the highest level of beta glucans. And beta glucans are the important compound in mushrooms that provide the immunological benefits. So they got the highest level of beta glucans of all of the particular medicinal mushrooms. And then not only that, they have these other compounds called triterpenoids, and the triterpenoids work with our liver. And proper liver function is so important, basically, in terms of cleansing and just keeping us healthy as well. So reishi mushroom, absolutely, if there's one mushroom that people should consider for overall health purposes, reishi is the one. Now, the issue is reishi is hard as wood. You're not going to eat it, but you can make a tea of it, or of course, it'll come in capsule form.
And it's one of the most popular ones, and one of the most well-researched of all mushrooms. I remember seeing all these studies on reishi when I was working in oncology, and I was like, whoa, like we need to be using reishi a lot more for the immune system, especially for this population of patients. So I was really surprised and like pleasantly just taken back. I was like, we need more reishi. And at that time I started taking reishi and as part of like my daily cycle of products that I take because it's such an amazing mushroom. Now, when it comes to the quality, you mentioned, no one's just going to eat reishi straight from the woods because it's hard as a brick. We're going to take it in, as you mentioned, like as a capsule or a powder. Are all mushroom products created equal? And if not, what's the big difference?
Well, man, I'll tell you, when you get out there into the stores, for example, looking for a supplement, man, how does anybody choose which brand? In 2015, I did a study because the one thing about functional mushrooms is that there were no real tests that you could use to determine quality. So it was really difficult to know. But I discovered a test called the Megazyme test, which actually tested for beta glucans. I then took dozens of samples of dried mushrooms. I went out on the internet. I bought 40 different samples of products just being sold on the internet. We tested our extracts. I had 95 different samples, tested them all for beta glucans. And what I found out was that the majority of these products that I bought off the internet did not have regular high levels of beta glucans. In fact, the beta glucans were almost not even present. And here's really the issue. And this also gets to just kind of, what is a mushroom? If I'm going to grow mushrooms, for example, how do I do that? Mushrooms don't have seeds. So they have spores. These spores will float out on the air currents. They'll land on the ground. They'll land on wood. When the conditions are right, those spores will germinate into a very fine thread-like filament. We call that a hypha. And when these filaments come together and fuse, that creates what is called mycelium, which is a network of these filaments. And that's the actual body of this fungus. So we never see it, though. That's what's really interesting about mushrooms, right? You go, where did that come from? It's not like picking an apple off a tree and geez, there's the apple. It comes from this tree. Where do these things come from? So this vegetative body, this mycelium, is underground. It's buried in a piece of wood. When conditions are right, up comes a mushroom. And that mushroom is the fruiting stage. It will go through different stages to get to maturity. Then the cap will open up, gills underneath, the spores will be produced. Now we've got the completion of the life cycle of this organism. Now, that organism has 3 what we would call plant parts. And if you're looking for a supplement, you want to know you're getting the proper plant part, because if you're looking for ginseng, you want the root. If you're looking for echinacea, you're looking for the flowers, ginkgo, the leaf. So this is really important when looking for a supplement. So this organism that we call a mushroom, it has 3 parts to it. It has the spore, it has the mycelium, and it has the mushroom. Those are the 3 plant parts. The mushroom is what has been used traditionally for thousands of years. The mushroom produces the majority of the medicinal compounds. The mycelium is okay if it is 100% mycelium. But what's happened is a lot of companies in the United States, because it's expensive to grow mushrooms, will grow the mycelium out in a laboratory on sterile grain. At the end of the grow out period, they will grind it to a powder, grain and all, and sell it as a mushroom. So you might go out there, you might buy a mushroom supplement, and it turns out that it's mostly grain powder. And if you look at the supplement's facts, well, maybe they'll tell you it's mycelium. And if you look in the fine print, maybe it will say myceliated rice or oats or something like that. But a lot of times it won't. And on the front panel, you've got a picture of a mushroom. It says reishi mushroom. And you think, oh, great. And I've heard so much about this brand by the person selling it. You could end up getting nothing but grain powder. And the issue is that has next to no beta glucans. In our tests, these products had approximately 5% beta glucan. A mushroom product has 25 to 50% beta glucan. And it had all of this grain powder, which shows up as what's called an alpha glucan. Mushrooms do not have this level of alpha glucan. So these products had 30 to 60% alpha glucan, which is starch. Mushrooms do not have starch. So what we found out was that the majority of the products, like 50% of the products on the market out there, were these grain-based mycelium products rather than a genuine mushroom. So it's literally a minefield out there when you're looking for a supplement product. You have to be very careful. You have to look at the label. Does it say on the supplements facts that it's a mushroom? In the fine print, it doesn't say myceliated oats or rice or something like this. And look, here's the strange thing. If it says made in the USA, that's primarily what you're going to get.
Hey everyone, I want to talk about Birch Living. This is a partner I've been working with for quite some time now. You know, sleep is super important to me. I'm always excited to talk about Birch on my show because I hold sleep to the highest standard. Now, Birch is a premium mattress in a box company that makes mattresses and sleep products that are stylish, comfortable, and environmentally conscious. They're organic, non-toxic mattresses that are made right here in the United States. And it's important for me to choose a Birch mattress that is made with organic and natural materials. Why? Because I can sleep comfortably knowing that I'm avoiding harmful off-gassing from manufacturing. And Birch mattresses are Green Guard Gold certified. This is the gold standard when it comes to beds and bedding. So I've had my Birch mattress for about 6 months now. I love it. What I love most about it is, one, the breathability. You feel cool at night. You're not sweating buckets in the morning when you wake up. It relieves pressure points. It feels like it's holding you like in a cloud, right? All of those pressure points, a lot of us move around and tumble around the bed is because we're trying to relieve those pressure points. This, I can stay with my face up and my back will not be overwhelmed with any pressure points. It's allergen and mildew resistant, super important. You know my story with mold. All of us are affected with mold, and bed materials can be a source of mold, especially when we're sweating. It's an interface, it's a living piece of material. So raw and natural materials for the bed are sourced straight from nature. Really important. We don't have any synthetics in this bed, so you're not breathing them in. With your Birch mattress, you get a 100-night sleep trial along with a 25-year warranty. If it makes you nervous to buy something you haven't tried before, you get 3 months with the mattress to make sure you love it. If you don't, they're gonna come pick it up for you, you're gonna get a full refund. Now, the best part about all of this is that Birch delivers your mattress right to your door for free within the United States. And it comes rolled up in a box and is super easy to set up yourself. I love my Birch mattress. I think you will too. So if you're looking for a new bed, check out Birch. You can click the link below or go to birchliving.com/healthyself and you're gonna get $400 off of your mattress and 2 free pillows.
Sigmatic makes coffee crash-free by adding in functional mushrooms from places like this.
Hyvää huomenta.
Sigmatic, deliciously balanced for body and mind.
Sigmatic helps people achieve elevated wellness with the world's most nutrient-dense ingredients. Now, they're plant-based, organic, clean formulas to promote your physical, mental, and emotional well-being and protect your body against the stressors of modern life. Now, Sigmatic has been at it for about 10 years, and it began with their pioneering mushroom coffee. Their product portfolio is diverse, but the vision has always remained the same. Sigmatic believes that Earth has provided us with the most nutrient-dense, powerful foods, and the goal is to make it easy and delicious to bring these foods in the most sustainable, clean, and authentic way to us, especially in the Western world where we arguably need it the most. We're super stressed, we're on the go, and we need to connect back to nature, especially from a food standpoint. Sigmatic coffees are delicious and one of the easiest ways to elevate your overall wellness. They've paired premium coffee, which is 100% USDA organic, fair trade certified, third-party tested for mycotoxins, mold, heavy metals, pesticides. You can't just get coffee, it has to be quality, with the world's most beneficial ingredients like lion's mane mushroom, one of my favorite mushrooms, and wild harvested chaga extract, another one of my favorite mushrooms, to support a crash-free focus, immunity, gut health, stress response, and more, with a perfect roasted morning brew. So Sigmatic also has a perfect plant protein. Now you're gonna elevate your day with the delicious blend of 5 plant-based proteins, 7 functional mushrooms, and adaptogens, right? This is to get you through the day so you feel good. You're resilient to stress. You have better energy, right? Your body is functioning fluid. This protein powder has 0 fillers, and it's crafted to taste amazing without stevia and any artificial flavors. And they only use whole food ingredients for taste. So you won't find a single grain or gum to weigh you down or upset your stomach, and you're gonna find the smoothness back into your smoothies. It is Sigmatic's birthday, so in honor of their day, Sigmatic is offering 50% off of membership subscriptions, 50%. This is their membership program where there is a no fee to join, no strings attached, and you're able to cancel anytime, but it has a lot of perks. Subscriptions are a standard 20% off of products plus free shipping and exclusive community and early access to all new product launches. Later this year, Sigmatic will be releasing their first subscription-only product. Now is the perfect time for you to join for half off some of the best products out there. You can also use the code DRG for 20% off of all orders on foursigmatic.com. Again, that's DRG for 20% off of all orders on foursigmatic.com. Thank you, Sigmatic.
It's just expensive to grow mushrooms. You know, Dr. G, every mushroom you've ever eaten has been picked by hand. I mean, can you imagine that? Here's a crop. They're still picking mushrooms by hand. And if you go into a large growing room of mushrooms, there are literally hundreds of thousands of mushrooms growing off those beds. And they're being harvested every single day by an army of people. One by one, they're being picked off and harvested. It's a very, very expensive to grow mushrooms. And the issue is that you can make money selling them fresh, but once you dry them out, mushrooms are 90% water. Now, what you get $5 for a fresh mushroom, you've got to get $50 for this dried mushroom. The economics don't work. So companies produce this grain-based mycelium product, and what you end up buying is mostly grain starch.
It's incredible. It's incredible because we spend hard-earned money, right? These are like $25, $30, $40 a packet or capsules, and we are using them hoping, right? Cold and flu season, I want to strengthen my immune system, or I want to use this for my brain or my heart or my lungs or something. I heard it's really good. And you're just eating rice starch or oat starch.
What if you had a life-threatening illness and you were like, I need something to help my immunity? And a lot of people do, and they buy mushrooms for that very reason. And there it is. You are spending your money on something you think, oh, I've heard mushrooms are going to help me with my immunity while I'm going through this procedure. And you end up, no, it's not doing you any good at all. And you're spending a lot of money on it. And look, healthcare in the United States is not cheap, and supplements are not cheap. No, it's really, in my opinion, it's very unethical that you have companies actually selling these kind of products and claiming that they're mushroom when they're not.
But I hear that, I was at the Expo West over here a few weeks ago, or a few month and a half ago or so, and I was talking to someone from one of the companies that I don't want to name, but we were talking, and they also have it myceliated. Now, I knew the answer already before I asked, but I asked because I wanted to know, and they were like, no, it's actually therapeutic properties to be in the mycelium. And they clean out all of the rice and the starch, so you have the mycelium. What do you say to companies that do say that?
I would just say that's absolutely not true. And it's so easy. Even somebody who has bought one of those products and just wants to know, you can easily do what's called a iodine starch test. So we just a little bottle of iodine. You take a teaspoonful of this product, or you empty out 4 or 5 capsules. You put it in 1/4 cup of water. You stir it around really good. Put 10 drops of iodine in. If there is starch in there, which are these grains, it will turn black. Mushrooms do not contain starch, so a genuine mushroom product will not turn. So that's a simple test you can do. And all I can say is look, you know what? Let's face it, marketing and the things that people say about their products, there's a lot of information out there that is just absolutely wrong. And for these companies to say that, oh yeah, we've the mycelium has consumed the starch, it's just not true. We've proved that over and over again with our beta-glucan tests. And so, you could ask them, well, show me the beta-glucan test that you did on your product, or something like this. But or you can just taste it. You taste it, Dr. G, and it tastes bland. It tastes like flour. The reishi, which should be bitter, is not bitter. So unfortunately, they will say this. They will even claim in their marketing materials, oh, we've got all these beta-glucans in our products. Sorry, it's just not true.
Powerful, powerful. What great rule of thumb. And even the iodine test, I didn't know that you could just run a little at-home experiment to see if it's
Absolutely.
really easy, really easy. And I can attest. So I know that you founded Real Mushrooms, and it's one of my favorite mushroom brands out there. But I had a packet of reishi from you guys, and me and my friend had this brilliant idea. Why don't we make these functional chocolates for this little party that we were having, right? So I tested it and I like mixed it together, and then we put in the chocolate and I ate it, and it was so bitter. And I go, okay, this is how it should be. This is real reishi. In my head, I was remembering this other brand of reishi that I had that it wasn't that bitter. So that's why I was like, oh yeah, let's put in the chocolate. It'll be fine. No, the reishi that you guys have tastes like medicine. Like it's supposed to be medicinal. The body recognizes it as medicinal. So just even if you don't have iodine, do the taste test, like you said, and check it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And your reishi should be bitter.
So okay. So let's say we found a company out here. They test for the beta glucans, and it's over. You said 20, 25, 30. Is that the number that we're looking for? Okay. Anything over 5 or anything over 20. You don't want it 5.
No, you do not want a 5. I mean, with the exception of, let's say, chaga, which is very low in beta glucans, most of these mushrooms will be 25 to as high as 60% beta glucan. And companies should know better because they can send it off to labs and have it tested. So they have like if a company's buying these raw materials or something, they can do these tests. The Megazyme test has literally changed the industry, and it has created a quality control standard that companies should meet. And you know what they do, which is really, this is the other thing you need to look out for. They'll say, oh, we've got 50% polysaccharides because beta glucans are polysaccharides. Well, guess what else are polysaccharides? Starch. So companies that use polysaccharides as a standard are basically obfuscating and providing you with a metric that is absolutely worthless, means nothing. If you have a high polysaccharide count like that, well, oftentimes it's just because you've got a lot of starch from the grains, or, a lot of herbal products too will have an extract that comes on a carrier like maltodextrin or something. And that's kind of one of the little secrets about supplements, is that sometimes they come on a carrier and they don't tell you they're on a carrier. And it might be 50% of this carrier that you're buying and only 50% of the actual herbal product that you think you're getting.
Man, there's so much for us to know, but what empowering information if we can just, like someone viewing or listening, that we already know, we have some tips on how to look at the back of a mushroom packet. I'll ask you, let's say we have one that fits the bill, it looks good. How do we know that if it's not coming from another country, or even here in America, it's not being sprayed with all these pesticides, or we're worrying about heavy metals? Because to get a good quality mushroom product, and we're going to use it every day, we want to make sure it's good quality. So how do we make sure for that? What are some of the things that your company does, or what you were seeing in the industry?
Well, you know what? First of all, my company's been organically certified since the early 90s. A lot of people say, oh yeah, organic certified doesn't mean anything. It means a lot, which is not to say that just because a product is organically certified, it's necessarily good. You can be organically certified, which a lot of these products are, and still be getting starch. But my company's been organically certified. People say, oh, the industry's not regulated. Oh, we are regulated. Every batch we make, we test for heavy metals. We test for a whole panel of pesticides, like over 100 pesticides we will test for every single batch. And then we also do a microbiological test to make sure it's not got E. coli or coliforms or something like that. So before we can even sell our raw materials to other companies, we have to provide all of that kind of information. And that comes with a certificate of analysis. Now, as a consumer, you don't get a certificate of analysis with your product. You really have to kind of know the company that you're dealing with and look very carefully. And you do have to be careful because there will be celebrities selling some of these products. And you think, this celebrity said it was so great and it's working so well for them. And it's like, look, I call a lot of the information out there that we get as nothing but marketing speak. You know, I mean, we're inundated with marketing information, and it's just like, God, you know how these days too, you get a lot of just websites. Anybody can put up a website, and all of a sudden you think, wow, look at this great company and this great product and all of that. Where really there's nothing there. And the other part about it is with these products I'm talking about, they can have, it's certified organic. It is manufactured in this facility that's FDA approved. It's kosher. It's this, it's that. I call them merit badges. You can have like 10 different merit badges and still have nothing but starch when you thought you were getting an actual mushroom product. So it's difficult. But again, if it says made in the USA, walk away from it. Don't even bother with it because, and if you want to make sure, you could always call the company and say, well, look, what are you growing this on? And you say you've got this myceliated grain in there. Is that what you're growing on? Mycelium on grain? So you could call them and ask them just like you did. Now, they may say things like, there's no starch in it. It's all been consumed. Yeah, well, do the starch test.
Yeah, do the starch test. We know we could do it. We could taste it, or we could do the iodine test, which is such a really cool way visually to see that. I would love to do it on Instagram or something. It'd be so really cool.
It is awesome. Now it's a little bit more difficult when you have a dark product, like a reishi is a dark one, and so the liquid is already dark. But a lot of those products are very light, flour-like, like a ground up grain or something like that. So it's very easy with those, and it will just go boom. It will go black, and you're like, God, that is interesting.
Wow. And we could just buy iodine, and we could just get it on Amazon and use the liquid and use the drops.
You know what? A $3 bottle of iodine. That's all you need.
$3. Amazing. So, all right. So there's a mushroom boom. Everyone loves mushrooms right now. Where are we going with this? Where do you foresee the next few years? Is it going to be like it is like reishi is in China, where we have a reverence and we're dancing around mushrooms and putting them in art now or architecture? Where are we going with this? Because I hope in a positive way, because these are so therapeutic for us.
Well, you know what? We're really playing catch up here. It's going to, this is just the beginning. I like to say we've reached escape velocity on this. It just goes back to when I started at the mushroom farm in 1973, and them saying, this is not a good food. It's nice as a garnish or something, but it's got no food value simply because it didn't have any calories. Now we know mushrooms have wonderful food value and provide these other benefits. In the last 3 years, Dr. G, we had 80% increase in our sales for the last 2 years. Last year, it was 30% increase. There's no limit to this right now because now that everybody's sort of discovered mushrooms, they're just so dynamic in the sense of you've got a very nutritious food, and today we can get up to 6 or 8 different species of mushrooms in our markets, which is a wonderful thing. In 1973, we had one mushroom. That was the button mushroom. That was all. Today, we have 6 to 8 different species. So not only do we have mushrooms as an awesome food, and a lot of people call it a superfood, but this mushroom also has these other benefits. And especially, look, these last 2 years, what have we been talking about but our immune systems, right? Our immunity is what we need to really be working with and making sure that it is, up to speed, and we're doing healthy things like exercise, fresh air, good water, good food. I mean, part of what goes on these days, as you know, you go into a marketplace and just a normal supermarket. God, do you ever go into the middle aisles? Do you know what's in there? You know, all the processed foods in there? And this is one thing too that I want to bring up, and that is now we have all of these companies that are going, oh, we're going to take you beyond meat, and we're going to provide you with these other alternatives, plant-based and so on. Yeah, where are you going to make that? Oh, you're going to make that in a factory. You're going to pour all of these different things into that, and you're going to tell me that's somehow good. We want to get away from processed foods, not move towards processed food. Meat, for me, I think meat should be produced in a certain way. We've really gotten away from producing it properly. Grain-fed beef, this type of thing. I don't know whether you're a meat eater or not. I am. And I'm just like, look, if it's produced properly and in terms of proper farming as well, where it's integrated into this farm and it's not monoculture. This is the issue that we're faced out there. This monoculture agriculture based on chemicals. We want to get away from that. That's why for me, certified organic is so important. This is what we want to move. We want to move away from processed foods.
Completely. And that's that. If there's any take home when it comes to nutrition, eat more mushrooms dietarily and move away from those processed foods. And yeah, I see it. There's a lot of companies popping up that are really pushing us towards, whatever imitation it is. And great. Like if someone wants to get off meat, okay. But yeah, also there's like 30 ingredients, 40 ingredients in there. It's a lot of stuff. It shouldn't be part of your daily diet. I always say that. Go back to Whole Foods. Eat a mushroom burger. Eat a beet burger. Eat a lentil burger.
And sure. Yeah,
all those wonderful things. Just make sure it's a whole food, and there's one ingredient or two ingredients. Make them at home.
Absolutely correct. I mean, make sure it's a whole food, not this composite of, like you say, 30 or 40 different ingredients in there that you're reading the ingredient list and going, when's this going to end?
For sure. Well, I got to tell you, man, when I just love talking about mushrooms. I'm pretty, like every 5 shows, I'm bringing it up some way, somehow. So it's such an honor to have the man over here. And, I could tell this is your calling because you're so passionate about it. It's like, it's so easy for you and it brings you life, and that's your calling. So it's beautiful to see someone in their purpose. So I honor you with all of your information that you're helping spread and really empower us as a people, man. It's good stuff.
Well, thank you so much. And again, I've had this relationship with mushrooms since the late 60s, and I've sort of known from the very beginning and just like, wow, this is a wonderful, interesting organism. And I love to eat it, and I love to be around it and grow it. And now the fact that more and more people are understanding the tremendous health benefits of mushrooms, I'm very gratified for that.
I love it. So Real Mushrooms, where do we find it?
Well, Real Mushrooms is actually the retail division of our company, www.realmushrooms.com. And what I recommend to people is that we've got a ton of good information on that site. Come for the information, educate yourself more, or come to Nammex, which is the raw material company, nammex.com, Nammex.com. I've got great slideshows there showing how we grow our mushrooms, talking about this whole issue of what I call myceliated grain products. So yeah, come for the information and educate yourself more about it, because it's just a fascinating area, and you want to be educated as well when you're going out looking for a supplement or a mushroom food.
everyone, viewers, listeners, go check it out. Go to the website. I know the most important and empowering thing out there is information, and it's chock full of info. I've been on the website. We sell them at Swell Score for a reason. You know, like we handpick them because it's such good quality. So all the love to you, and thank you for doing what you do. And let us keep our eyes on this mushroom boom. Maybe in a year we talk about how it's all over artwork and pop culture even more.
Absolutely. And, you know, there's a whole nother aspect to the mushroom boom, too, that we could get into as well, which is the whole sort of, let's just call it shamanic or mental health side of it that we could look at. So there's lots to talk about, Dr. G, and it's been my pleasure to be here with you.
That's the next convo. I'm going to put it in the books. We need to have this conversation. You know, I love talking about mental health and shamanic realm stuff, man. That is right up my alley. Pleasure to have you, everyone. Thank you for listening. As always, Jeff Chilton, Real Mushrooms, Nammex, my man.
Thank you very much.